Hi everyone, my name is Bailey Brooks, and today I'm going to be doing a speech on social media and the impact it has on your mental health. Have you ever found yourself sitting there scrolling aimlessly on apps like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, or any other social media platform? I know the answer to that question is most likely yes, because of how important social media and social networking platforms are to our society. Have you ever wondered why these platforms are so heavily used in our society? Well, I'm here to answer that question today. The reason why we use social media so much is because it sends a hit of dopamine to our brain when we use it. I recently read an article called Dopamine, Smartphones, and You, A Battle for Your Time by someone from Harvard University. And it really goes into detail about what dopamine is and how that relates to smartphone usage. And dopamine is a chemical in your brain that releases a reward response. And this means that whenever you do certain activities, your brain is telling you that you're doing a good job and it's sending positive feedback to your brain. So when you do things like exercise, eat certain foods, or scroll through social media, your brain sends you this response which tells you that you need to do more of whatever that you're doing because it's rewarding you. Considering the fact that scrolling through social media sends a signal to our brains, making us want to keep scrolling, we should be aware that social media usage can become an addiction. There is a YouTube video that's an interview with Simon Sinek, and I will link that with my video so you guys can watch it if you would like. But I'm going to summarize basically what he says in that video. He talks about how addictive social media is, and he talks about how with things like alcohol, there is an age limit on it because it is a dopamine producing thing. But social media is also a dopamine producing thing, but we don't have any age restrictions on that. So during adolescence, we have access to this dopamine numbing effect. And this can lead to people turning to social media instead of people. And they use it like an outlet. Like if they're stressed, they will turn to social media, just like an alcoholic would turn to like a bottle of alcohol if they've had a bad day. A lot of people in our generation will turn to social media if they've had a bad day. And when people in our generation grow up and experiencing this numbing effect throughout adolescence, they struggle to form deep connections with people because they are reaching for their smartphone instead of turning to a person. When stress arises, they turn to social media. They don't go to a friend. And this can be very detrimental because this creates a sense of feeling alone, and this creates a sense of being depressed, and this creates a sense of feeling like you can't depend on people, and this creates a sense of not having proper coping mechanisms. Most people don't go anywhere without their phones. They check their phones early in the morning, and they essentially can't live without their phones. And this is very addictive behavior, considering that when we look at an alcoholic, we see them not being able to live without alcohol. But for some reason, our society accepts that it's okay for people to not be able to live without their smartphones. And I think that that is something that needs to be brought to awareness, is that this isn't okay and that this is an addictive thing. According to another article I found, social media causes social media is linked to depression, anxiety, insomnia, and low self-esteem. So, to sum things up, I talked about dopamine and the use of that. So now that you know the dangerous and scary aspects that social media has on our brains, maybe you will be more aware of the time you spend scrolling. Thanks for listening to my speech. Bye!